Eid Mubarak. Today, with this pandemic, the English virus taking a great momentum of our motherland, Sri Lanka, as a citizen, as a layman, as like all of you who love the motherland and entire humanity, on my own, individually, with the little experiences I had in the past and the little knowledge I have, I thought it is a sadaqah if I could contribute it and share it with our fellow beings. Some of these things are going to be my resolutions for the future from Eid al-Fitr. And I also hope whatever that is good, you also can do it. But whatever today's subject I should speak regarding the virus or anything else, give all respect to the health authorities and the WHO. Take me just as something, as a side dish. Okay? Right. Bismillah. Let me start. Now with this English virus taking a great momentum, I think, now for almost a week we are going to be, we had to stay at home. I don't know what term you are calling it, shut down or stay at home, whatever it is, we can't get out of the house. The government is doing it for our own good. So let us cooperate and go by the rules, because the state is trying their best to their nail to bring things into order. With my little experience under these conditions, I hope that all of you, anything good in what I say, please follow it up. It is very important that you should wear a mask properly, and a very clean mask, and do it as you leave the premises, and don't leave the premises. Go, when you leave, it should be now under these conditions, it's going to be with strict on the government guidelines of the day. In the meantime, it was just an inspiration the other day when I tried to do something. I found parallel to that Joe Biden's medical advisor, Fauci, himself had made a statement that you should wear 2 masks. It's common sense to wear 2 masks instead of 1. You must wear 2. So this should be a daily habit, and also something to flavor. I would tell you at this hour, when you wear a mask, first thing you should be very clean. The mask should be very clean. You should know how to touch it and how to fix it, and also fix a second mask. If you are going on a long errand from home, so say that day the supermarket you have to go and get your things done, or to go for your vaccination or whatever it is, blah blah blah. When you come, before you wear the mask, make sure you are not going to take an old mask that was washed and kept out to dry. Never touch them. Go up to take a mask that is straight from the box, fresh, and without touching it, very carefully use it and cover your nose well. And over that, use this so-called N95. I don't know whether this is original, but over that you use it. But the first number point is, these 2 masks are brand new masks, untouched. Now the question is, while you touching it, you must be careful. Have your hands washed in sanitizer, and very careful, like a delicate operation done in a theatre. You're a surgeon. When you're wearing your mask, you should be clean yourself. And once you wear this mask, the same mask after the job is over, when you come back home, don't go to wash any of them. As it's as a special case of this English virus, it's far better you get rid of it. Don't go to wash, even the first one, of course, you have to get rid of. The second one, according to the normal practice, we wash it over and over and use it. No. Under these conditions, use it once and for all. This mask is, the seals are not broken. The packet is just intact. So you know it's really hygienic. So once you have used it, we don't know, once you wash it again, the germ will be there, and then we can't take chances. So best thing is, go to the last disposable bin where you have, don't put it in the kitchen, don't keep it here, don't keep it there, don't put it in the waste paper basket. To the last disposable exit unit you go, carefully drop it in for the garbage man to collect it. So that is very important, the mask. And with this mask, in this period, as a habit, I would hope that everybody, apart from wearing your gloves, when you get out of the home, it's always good you wear this shield. Suppose you get a ticket to go and live in the moon, you may pay millions and go there. But once you go there, you'll know, no oxygen, no this, no that, no gravity, you live a hectic life. But this is not the moon, the earth, so still God's blessings are there. We have only take some precautions for to fight this virus. This is not corona, this is another dangerous version. Then apart from that, very important thing is, I find these things are only done by the sales girls in these food cities like Kiels and other places. The average customer or the average man never cares to use a pair of gloves. It is extremely important you use a pair of gloves, because whenever you go, wherever you go, you will be, even to the place where you go and wash your hands in this food city, those taps, those nozzles, those siphons that you use, everybody touches it and we also touch it. Or you go to the teller and do it, or inside the food city you have to sign your notes and all that. Then it's always safe to have a pair of gloves. And you go, so even this pair of gloves, once and for all, along with the mask, should be got rid of. This is one journey ticket. Think you are taking a ticket to go to America. So it's an expensive affair to go to the junction also these days. If you want to save your life, these are the things you should do. And then, I have left out something that's really important. And also when you get back, and if you find that your wallet, your other matters, you have to clean it up, use a sanitizing tissue like Marvel wipe. And also very important that, it's in my room, it's very important that after you get back home, you get rid of all your clothes, put it to wash immediately, and go under the shower with Lifebuoy 10 plus. Now this kills 10 varieties of germs. You use Lifebuoy 10 plus, have a bath, all your clothes put to wash, your hand gloves, the mask, all that you used have been got rid of. And then coming back to sanitize your hands, always you keep your hands washed. When you keep your hands washed, it's always keep it clean. But along with that, the most important thing, to use something that has alcohol. Alcohol like Lifebuoy 10 plus alcohol. They have the varieties of alcohol. Always keep a use of that, especially places where you suspect. And apart from that, it's also in the gel form. Then along with that, as a general use, it's quite okay. You could use this stuff. So this is a thing you find in anywhere, even before the corona. You must be noting that those who have been in the States have been there about 5-6 years ago. I found, before all this corona and other problems, any big stores in, I forget their name, most of them, the Eagles, something is the big supermarkets. As you enter, the first thing is they all clean their hands, and they have been provided with sanitizing tissues. It is with those sanitizing tissues that they wipe the cart and go inside for their errands. Long before this concept of corona, because there in the Western countries they knew we are human beings, we are In other words, we are called, in technical terms, we are part of the macrofauna. We the elephants, big creations. Then you get the small version of it, the microfauna. Microfauna are the algae, the bacteria, the eelworms, and the viruses. And the macroflora are the huge trees that you find, and the microfauna flora are those fungus, algae, and all that. That is, when you study this thing, I knew all this because as a small boy, from 1925, my father had a huge organization called Zahir in Norelia. Started off with textile imports and hardware, and finally, in my period in 69, I was dealing with agrochemicals and veterinary products, and I thoroughly studied that subject. I was supplying medicine. I had the largest veterinary cupboard in the island, and I was supplying to 3 veterinary surgeons, Nyangarangara, Tavarakale, and Norelia, and Dr. Shanmugalingam was my good friend, and I knew a lot of about these things, and I studied a lot. At the same time, I was studying the Caesalia research also, and I studied read several books like Kalpake, Panabuk, and all that. Then coming to one more subject which I would like to contribute, a sensitive matter, over the effort taken by His Excellency the President, hats off to him. I think he had done the right thing. He's doing the right thing, but I hope it is doing the right thing, not the wrong way. I hope he won't get offended by my word that I used. He's doing the right thing, and maybe the right way also. But a little correction and a little contribution that I want to contribute is on this straight fertilizer stoppage is a great thing. From the time immemorial, God's creation, that's how it had been. Organic fertilizer was how it was all meant for. When with all the fossil decomposition, they became fertilizers. If you go into more technical terms, I could talk that also. For instance, when trees and plants and animals, they die and they go into, get buried and get submerged into the soil, there's a thing called microbiological activities taking place in the soil. These microbes go and enter into them, and they start the decomposing process, and they who release all these minerals out and all this stuff, and that is very important. So that microbiological activity taking place, that took place, and then those released minerals became the nutrients. Now nutrients in plants were not vitamins, they were nutrients that were taken in a different style. They just called the major nutrients, the minor nutrients, and certain vitamins also. Major nutrients were called the NPK, that was composed of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And earlier thinkers, they also said it was magnesium also. NPK. And to that major nutrients, there were a thing called trace minerals. That was manganese, boron, cobalt, and all that. Now those nutrients were needed for plant growth. For instance, you grow a plant, for the yams you might need potassium. So for the leaves you may need nitrogen. So the ancient days, you know how it started in an earlier clip that I told you. It was just a coincidence in the Bodo University. That is, Bodo mixture came in when they were trying to, when the gardener was trying to spray some copper sulfate into their wine to prevent some children from drinking the fruits. That was the first birth of agrochemicals, where a thing called the Bodo mixture came in. So with that was the birth of agrochemicals. And with the influx of population explosion and the production of food, production from food took place arithmetically, and population went off geometrically, and then science and technology had to come forward to bring this straight fertilizer and other stuff in a commercial way, because there was a threat of starvation worldwide. But today, it is a great move that the President is doing, because although this sort of a thing took place, that has other adverse effects. For instance, this straight fertilizer is further killing all these bacteria activities and all, and then brought the whole soil structure into disorder. Then the other thing is, even these chemicals had done a lot of damage, and also these chemicals that are sprayed Now, this is a thing that should concern by the authorities itself, not by the government. This agrochemicals, there are two types. One is insecticide, one is fungicide, one is weedicide. Whether it was all three of them, on that there are two categories. One is contact, one is systemic. The contact one lives in the surface for about 7 days and it goes off. The systemic one goes into the sap of the plant. And then the earlier one, the contact, the recommended time was around 7 days. Systemic one, it should be 21 days. What really happened when I was a boy, when I was selling agrochemicals, when I was representing Harrison and Crossfield and J.L. Morrison and Sons, I used to sell all sorts of chemicals at a large chemical stores in Norelli. And then I was, Miss Cheladare was the head of the research at Sitalia, was a good friend of mine, and then I was going deep into the subject. Then what happened was this thing. Now, for instance, cabbage in Aurelia, they used to spray a thing called polydol. Polydol was a insecticide marketed by Haley's, manufactured by Bayer's, German Bayer, the Bayers in Germany, who Haley's had the license. Now that is polydol was a chemical which its ingredient was a thing called, it was belonging to a thing called organophosphates. And then that was a very fatal insecticide used for cutworms in Aurelia. Now what happens was that for the strength of it, when you sprayed that to the cabbages, the thing got hardened. Then now what happened, a lot of customers came running asking for polydol. Why? Goa Gediven. So I used to tell them not Goa Gediven and Badet Gediven, I think. But that was misused. Then again, this 21 days chemical was used, period was not added to. By 7 days or 3 days or 4 days, the market price was good. They cut the vegetables and put it to market. Then what really happens is, you should understand, with all the researchers done, these chemicals have a certain thing called residual effect. So what really, little by little, they enter our systems into our certain vital organs. I think it's what you call the livers or kidney or whatever. I'm not too sure about what they start getting accumulation. So this accumulative effect is a dangerous thing. Once you accumulate, then it turns into other some problems. So same with all this organic so-called thing. In our childhood days, there was nothing called organic and inorganic. We only knew the cow dung and this thing and all that. This was not there. So then apart from that, the immediate problem in Sri Lanka that we are facing is, apart from the straight fertilizer banning, it is very, very important. The major problem causer is not the fertilizer. It's a problem, all right. The biggest problem is the weedicide. That also you get the total weedicide, the collective weedicide, the systemic weedicide, the contact. These weedicides, people like Anuradhapura and others, they use this for removing weeds in the paddy fields. Those weedicides get absorbed in the ground and they pollute the groundwater. And that is why this Vakubadu Rogue and all this, what do you call this, kidney problems, all up. I'm sure, with my half a century of experience in this subject, I could say, the major problem maker is the weedicide. Yes, added to this, it will be the straight fertilizers also. So, this sort of this modern technical revolution that took place, it's a great chance, a great risk, a great challenge the President of His Excellency is doing it. But yet, with all the criticism, so even there is a threat of starvation when cultivation comes to a halt. Even for a short period, even if you could import this stuff for a moment, even try to get a great stride to make it a chemical-free environment, because today the world is coming to an end, not because of anything else. The way the God created us, we are okay. This so-called technical advancement has gone beyond its limits. And today, everything is dangerous, and you should be happy we're in Sri Lanka, and the Sri Lankan way of lifestyle is so wonderful. I'm a Muslim, I love my religion, I say at the same time, I love the Sinhalese way of food. They say, Vasa visi nati kama, Sinhala kama. But unfortunately, even there, they have been corrupted by using this chemical sprays in Mukuran and all, I'm sure. All that. So I think it's good and also get back to nature, but this is a part where we are trying to get back to evolution. Because chemical advancement of this stuff ever since the board of Misha came out, all these huge companies like Beers and Dow Chemicals and all these big multi-giants in the States all over, they took a great momentum and they made the whole world and corrupted it and added to this the polythene and all this stuff, and it had become a place where even the global warming was getting spread. So today the coronavirus is an eye-opener for us to see we must get back to nature, and it's a very good thing this should go off. So although the government is trying to take heed of the street fertilizer, the most important thing is this is weedicide. But again, the street fertilizer also I would advise not to immediately stop it. That will cause crop failures and it will lead to ultimate starvation of the whole country. That shouldn't happen. So what you should do is do an intelligent research, and there's no other country you could even follow up because everybody's in a mess. So Sri Lanka will be really a pioneer to start forward, to go back to the original form. So it is a carbonic fertilizer, means it's not another thing that's made in the manufacturing, that's created by nature. What you do with carbonic fertilizer is compost. So what is done is, laws will be put that every farmer should be compulsory, he has his compost heap. And also, as much as all these insects and bees and all other stuff that had been there, which has been destroyed, should be done. And this is a thing I am not an authority, but then the government will always get a hold of all the intelligence higher up from the hierarchy, from the agriculture department, from the research. I was fortunate about 50 years back, I knew Ms. Cheladure from the research. I read some books on Parnabook, Kalbage, this was half a century ago. So now with these things emerging, I thought I should contribute for something that I knew. So I am just a layman, nothing, no authority, nothing. So best thing is I'm just giving you food for thought. You have to get down even up to the UNO level and find there's nobody in us who's going to rescue because they are more blind than us. I think we have got the vision. So it's the right vision, the right start. It's not only to save Sri Lanka from poisoning, it's to stop the entire universe from this poisoning, and it has to be go back to nature program. You'll get back and do something good, and then only thing is, how are you going to do it? It's question of belling the cat. So small term, there'll be a big disaster. So long term, preventing these food shortages and all in stages, you have to very carefully plan it up. And see someday that it will be a completely chemical-free environment, and it will be a safe environment for Sri Lanka to start life. And along with that, it's also good that Sri Lanka gives the highest authority to improve its Ayurveda, because Ayurveda was there 5,000 years ago and not far beyond Western medicine. And there again, that is the type of natural healing that came from the Himalayas. Maybe they are yet in infancy for this coronavirus. Encourage them and give them utter support, where they will come, the whole world will be coming, flocking to Sri Lanka to eat natural food, natural environment and natural medicine. Good luck, goodbye. Inshallah, everything shall be all right. Be patient, take heed to the state's orders. We are going through a bad period. Everything shall be coming back. And today morning I was trying to scan through the Quran to see of a verse which, as a layman, there is one says, I think it's Surah Ashura or Surah Inshira, I was not too sure. It says, after every hardship there will be relief. After every hardship there will be relief. Allah is with you. And then along with that, let us start a life afresh, free from discrimination, free from all. Think of humanity, whether we are Sri Lankan or Indian, or God's creation we are. So let us all live happily and this life is only a dream. So let us live happily and love each other happily and get and pass off to us it's the next world. It's only a place of rest, not a place of test, not a place of test. So only thing is, at this crucial hour, only thing I could say is take care, have hope, and whatever decision done by the government on this food price is good. Only the tricky situation is the modus operandi, how is going to do it. The slightest misfire, there will be disaster. So we'll have to do a great intelligence work. You can pull out some experts from abroad, but don't rely on the foreign stuff. They are like the blind man searching for a black cat in a dark room. They have no sense of direction. I think we have got the direction, now we have to work on it. And we are going to the prize once again. We are going to be on the top. Get back to nature. Don't live on technology, all science and technology also it came as a help. It has become a monster. It is like the Frankenstein, it's destroying the master. That's the thing what is happening. Now get rid of that thing, get back to nature, get back to the way how God created us. Assalamu alaikum, goodbye. Wish you your best, everything shall be alright. Stay at home and stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.